My daughter came home with a small cut on her lip, a thin red line, faint but deliberate. She didn't cry when I asked what happened. Instead, she looked down, fidgeting with her hand the way she always does when she's too scared to talk. "What happened, sweetheart?" I asked. Her voice trembled when she finally spoke. Mom's friend got mad. I froze. There's a certain tone children use, the one that tells you they're telling the truth, but they don't expect you to believe them. That's exactly how she sounded. That night, I called my ex-wife. She laughed. Actually laughed. "She's exaggerating," she said. "You know how kids make things up." But I did know. Not my daughter. Not Ava. The next morning, her teacher called. Her voice had that calm, shaking edge people get when they've seen something they wish they hadn't. "Mr. Dalton," she said softly, "you should come in. It's about Ava." The ground seemed to drop from under me. When I arrived, she showed me a video, security footage from the school's cameras. It was pickup time. Ava stood near the gate, waiting for her mother. A man approached, early 30s, slim build, moving with confidence. He knelt down beside her and said something I couldn't hear. Ava froze, flinched. He smiled. Then he straightened up and the light hit his face. I knew him. Tyler, my ex-wife's friend. He'd been around before the divorce. Too friendly, too loud, always there with a helping hand. He was the one who helped her move out. And now, there he was, picking up my daughter from school, touching her face. That red line on her lip suddenly wasn't an accident anymore. I thanked the teacher calmly, politely, then drove home in silence. Inside, I felt everything collapse. I wanted to scream, but anger wouldn't help. People like them feed on that. They twist it until you look like the unhinged one. So I smiled when I called my ex again, told her we needed to discuss the visitation schedule. She agreed easily, still thinking she held control. For 3 nights, I planned quietly. I didn't tell Ava, didn't call the police. Not yet. I checked her phone records. Every call from her mother's number had a mirrored line, a secondary number registered to no one. Tyler's. I went through Ava's drawings. She draws everything she sees. In one picture, she'd drawn her mother smiling, with a tall man beside her holding a red crayon. My chest went cold. The next day, I followed my ex when she came to pick Ava up. I stayed 2 cars behind. She didn't go home. She drove to Tyler's place. I parked down the street and watched. He opened the door before she even knocked. They kissed. She laughed into his mouth. It wasn't about love. It was about control, about keeping me in the dark. That night, I didn't sleep. I replayed every time she'd said, "You're overreacting. You're paranoid. You need help." No, I didn't need help. I needed proof. By morning, I had it. I went back to the school. The teacher had already sent me a copy of the footage, but now there was new audio from a closer camera. Tyler's voice was clear. "If you tell anyone," he said, "I'll hurt Mommy." Ava didn't move, didn't breathe. Then came the sound of him grabbing her arm and her crying. I watched it twice. No anger this time, just silence. Then I called my lawyer. We filed an emergency custody motion and attached the evidence. When my ex was summoned to court, she walked in smiling, confident, until I played the video. Her laughter died. Her eyes darted between the screen and me. "You set me up," she whispered. I didn't answer. There was nothing left to say. 2 days later, the police arrested Tyler. She tried to stop them, crying, insisting it was a mistake. They didn't even look at her when they brought him out in handcuffs. He glared at me, trembling with rage. I stood still, unblinking. My ex turned to me then, tears streaking her face. "Please," she begged. I didn't know. I stepped closer, voice low. "You always knew. You just didn't care until it finally cost you something." She broke then, sobbing, shaking, trying to deny it all. I didn't touch her, didn't comfort her. I just watched the woman I once loved crumble beneath the weight of her own silence. Ava sleeps peacefully now. No more nightmares, no fear behind her smile. She still draws, but the man with the red crayon is gone. The court granted me full custody last month. My ex moved out of state. No calls, no visits. Sometimes I wonder if she dreams of him, or the choices that led her here. But I don't. I don't hate her. Hatred is too heavy. What I feel now is quieter, cleaner, like the silence after a storm that will never come back. Tonight, when I tucked Ava in, she looked up at me and asked, "Daddy, is he gone for good?" I said, "Yes." And for the first time in years, it was the truth.